Okay, so today we have a look at set 6081, the King's Mountain Fortress from 1990 Lego Castle. This is an awesome castle. It's definitely iconic looking, striking. It has a neat design, neat architecture. I really like the architecture. And it's the first time that they ever used a raised base plate for the castle sets in 1990. And I believe that year they also had a pirate set. Well, the previous year they had the El Dorado Fortress with a raised base plate and a few other things with raised base plates. But this year, for castle, this was the first time using this one with the rocks, kind of like a mountain top, sort of to resemble. And it's an awesome castle. It's great. It has a kind of a central tower. It's very much, to me, looks like a keep of a castle. Like if you were to surround it with bigger walls. Or maybe, I've seen people do in other videos where they put this castle in the middle of the Lion Knights setup. Because Lion Knights, especially in the 80s, had a bunch of walls and stuff you could put together. And so that would be really neat to see. I might do that. But anyways, yeah, so let's get into this castle. King's Mountain Fortress. There was King's Castle before that with the Lion Knights. And then in 1990, they changed to Crusaders for some reason. I don't know if it was where they were traveling out of, range of the king's kingdom, or maybe it was like a frontier, like where there's a new section of the kingdom. So I'm not sure the logic behind calling it Crusaders, but they maintain the same lion emblem and design on the shields. That was about it. And and the torsos too, torso prints. And so this one comes with 4 guards. You've got a guy with a spear and a shield. You've got 2 guys with these crossbows and the lion shields, which is great. That makes sense if they're on the top of the walls. And then you've got, another guy with an axe. And then 2 knights. I like this guy. I like the yellow against the red. Looks really good. And if I'm not mistaken, this was the first year that they came up with these breastplates. And yeah, so this will be the same year as Black Monarch's Ghost and a couple of other sets. Oh yeah, Knight Stronghold. And so this was the first year they came up with these breastplate things that they wore, that looks so good. I love it. It looks like very, very, very realistic. It's definitely more of a play element than like a Lego piece. And so they started introducing more of those types of things. But rather than just a print on it, which I like those too for sure, but this is another layer, maybe a stronger knight. And then these visors that go on the normal motorcycle helmets. I thought that was a clever design. Loved it. I loved having those knights. So this guy, he comes with that and a crossbow and that clip. And this is how he's staged in this set. He looks great. And then the second knight is this guy. Maybe he's Sir Richard or something. I'm not really sure. With this lion print, which I believe was in one other set. The Joust set of like a 1988, I think, or 89. I'm not sure yet. I haven't gone that far back yet in my research, and will be going that direction. But anyways, so this is the only other one. With this one, I have this kind of plastic sword. That's not correct, but just for display purposes, it's there. And the set design build has you clipping this crossbow into their clips, which definitely breaks after a while. That causes it to break So you won't find a lot of these with their clips intact, and if you do, that's great. Hold on to it. But yeah, it comes with another knight, similar design, but he's got a gray. He's all gray, and blue pants and shield and stuff. So that's him. It looks cool though. He's very striking. Love him. Love the way he looks. And then the castle's got a great look. I love the look of it. Starting in the front here, you've got a drawbridge, which, you know, it's working. It's just a bunch of rope, and it's a normal like spool, like for like a fire engine type thing. And it's fine. It's a little harder to use. So the functionality of this castle isn't as good as other castles. And it's, you know, it excels on looks, but as far as the playability or functionality of it, it's a bit odd. And that's fine. The biggest complaint for me on this front gate is that these ropes are in the way of closing the doors. You have to do this to close the door. And then, here, I'll move this guy for a minute. I'll stick him over here. And then what I usually do, you know, close the doors, close the gate. And then as you pull the gate up, my thread's a bit unclean. It stops here because of these plates. You know, it kind of leaves you a big gap here. I don't know if you can see, and that's it as far as it goes. I don't know if this is a misprint or what, but it's not ideal. So what I usually do is, instead of putting these 1x2 plates on the drawbridge here towards the end, I usually put them, oops, yeah, I usually take them off. Oof, careful. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. I usually take them off and put them like, oops, here, for instance, or you know, anywhere up here. That still is fine, and then you can actually see that fits in very nice, and it closes and locks it up completely. I'm not sure the advantage of having any of those plates there. Anyways, we'll open it up for the time being. But yeah, that's kind of the number one functionality complaint of the doors. They're not great. They look great. They look awesome because, you know, Lego makes really cool looking things. And then moving on, you have this trap door or secret door, and it opens to reveal the ghost staring at you. If you try to come to the entrance, it's going to scare off the enemies. It's a cool little feature, and it's a neat design. We'll kind of just rotate it here. As we rotate it, move this guy for a minute. As we rotate it, you've got a like a dungeon area down here. Kind of lift this up. Dungeon area here, and I don't know what else you could put in there. And then there's a treasure here, and then a jail cell. It's a good design little, you know, cell. It's sort of a wasted space. I think we could have made that something else if we already have a dungeon. But then you can bring in your dungeon hunters. I think that was the idea, as the dungeon hunters. from that year, the other Crusaders set, and then drop them off in the jail. It's cool. I like it, the playability and the access of it. It is a big wasted space here. So, you know, you can almost build another wall if you had more castle pieces or wall pieces, and design your own sort of space here. Because as we get to the tower, this sort of looks like a jail cells too, as well. I like the design of it. It's the same design as that Dungeon Hunter's cart. Pretty much almost exactly the same, which is really cool looking. I love that. The iron bars, it looks cool. And it's fine as a little, maybe it's just supposed to function as a window or something. It does seem like a prison if this is your only tower space for the maiden or queen or princess. I guess it's a princess. So it's a nice tower. The structure is nice, but yeah, it's like, I'm not really sure what it was supposed to function as. And then you've also, oh sorry, I almost forgot. You've also got this little trap door as well. So if somebody comes in here, they're gonna fall through this trap door. Whoa, you know, it doesn't really function very well. As also, there, it's this piece kind of gets caught on the other plates. So I mean, it's fine as a floor actually. It's not that bad, but as a trapdoor, it's not the greatest design. So there's more functionality that's questionable. I mean, this is fine as an access door if you just want to get in here and play. Place your minifigures. Like, that's totally cool and it looks cool. I like it. But yeah, as far as a jail cell door, is that really what it's for? I'm not really sure. It's questionable. And then this side of the castle is weak. I mean, you could definitely hide out here and place minifigures up in this section, and they could shoot through the window, you know. But then this is a very low wall, so you could have enemies coming here and just firing away at people, and even in the inner part of the castle. So I don't know, you know, you can almost rebuild this to make it this high, or you know, do something else, or even stick more of these wall pieces there. I don't know if anyone has ever tried different things. Maybe they have a suggestion. But as far as accessibility and playability, of course, it's got all of that. You can easily reach in. It's got this little area here. You know, you can't really set the minifigures, but maybe you could set a horse in there. One of the horses. That's another thing, is there's not really a lot of room for other things, you know, for the horse or the knights to go. But I guess they could hang out in this courtyard. Here we go. I do like that they stuck these grates here, because that's an access point. That's one design flaw of other castles, that they don't have as strong of defense on sort of the little things. Some of them. I'll put him up here. And then finally, the top of the tower. It looks great. Oh, goodness. There we go. I love it. I don't know how they get up there. So maybe some of you have solved some of that by making a ladder or making your own thing. Not sure. Maybe you could show us something or talk about it in the comments. But it's a great tower. I love the design. It's you know, you can aim from all points all around. You know, it looks like something you would put on the top of the mountain. And this little thing here is echoed in the Royal Knight's Castle. It also has one of those as well. It's pretty cool. I like the look of that one. And last but not least, we've got this little kind of bay area balcony. And then we've got the Princess Maiden figure, which looks really nice, really neat. It's just a blue torso. The pirates also had this. And then our Forceman's Crossing set from that same year has the same torso, 1990, except it's green, and then the same face print. But I like that this one has the unique black parrot, kind of like a crow or a raven, maybe is what I would think of it as. And no other set has that, so hang on to that. Those minifigures, those are valuable, hard to find, to replace. All in all, it's a great set, but if you're going to include a princess, it needs to be more princess focused. It's kind of weird how there's a princess in this, and even though it's the king's fortress, a king's mountain fortress, there's no king. It's, you know, still continued that way for a good many years, which is, again, we've talked about that before, but it's kind of odd. So I guess the princess is hanging out here on the frontier, but she really has no space. I mean, she has this inner part of this tower, which is great. You could make that into a little bit of a living quarters if you wanted. But then there's this whole courtyard that's just kind of unusable. So maybe you guys have other ideas and ways that you've kind of mocked your setup of this to make it more usable. That would be cool to hear about in the comments. I may try some other things, or just, you know, in my display, take away the princess altogether. But she's got a jail cell, she's got a dungeon courtyard with not much there to explore, and then she's got a tower with iron bars. It does not seem very, very conducive to the lifestyle of a princess, but yeah, so it's a bit confusing on who the set's for and like what it's about, but otherwise, I do love this set, and of course, it comes with this tree design. I think that's really cool. I think, you know, I may take that design and do more trees like that. I think that would be a great way to make a forest. You could make them various heights, and be easy. They're easy to place, and they don't like fall apart very easily. Also, so all in all, it's a great design. I love it. The functionality is kind of low as far as most of the castles, but again, you have playability access here. You know, if they could have done this wall, sorry for this chair squeaking. If they could have done this wall like out here, you know, that would have been cool. I'm not really sure why they did that, but yeah, if you were to really put this in a real setting, you know, this would kind of be the top of the keep, or maybe you'd have a mound in the middle of the entire castle fortress, and this would be on top of that in the middle of it. I think that would be most logical. But anyways, so here's set 6081, King's Mountain Fortress from 1990. It's a great set. I love it. I love the look of it. That's probably the best thing about it. So hope you enjoyed.